What's up, you guys? We're back with another episode of What the Pell with the one and only, the myth, the legend himself, Mr. Alejandro.
I think I'm in the wrong spot.
Are we in the wrong seats?
Maybe because I'm not a myth.
Oh, you're at the wrong place. You came to the wrong. You're like this. I'm in the
me.
wrong building.
Yeah.
How are you doing, man?
Doing pretty good. You?
I'm doing good. I think this time this is gonna work
Hopefully.
because we did this like a month ago.
Yeah.
Do you think it was about a month ago?
Yeah, probably.
And like Pelly does, he botched the audio. So we're trying again. Dude. This is gonna work. How you been, man?
Pretty good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What have you been busy with? Yeah?
Yeah. With man, just life in general is busy. Man, you know, I never understood like when you walk up to people, most people want to seem busy.
Yeah.
So it's almost like the normal thing to say when you walk up to someone and you're like, "Hey, how are things?" "Oh, they're so busy." Everyone's always busy,
Oh yeah,
right?
always.
Yeah. No, but I feel like I'm genuinely busy.
Well, you do have like a family and a job that's not super like it's kind of local.
Wow,
But it's
yeah,
not
I
that
guess,
local.
yeah. So
And
I
then-
drive I drive quite the ways for 4 days a week.
And I don't think you're someone who like you don't really just sit still and not take on new things or do other things. Like I think yesterday, I think you were watching a band play, right?
Yeah.
I think I seen on your Instagram. Yeah, like I can't see like you're always doing something.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, when you have kids, this one was awesome because I got to go with a bunch of my friends, and we all have become parents. So going to shows, it's a rarity for us.
Yeah. So like you went like with a group of
Yeah. So it was my buddy Goose.
yeah
Who you know,
yeah
his wife, me and my wife, and Goose's brother actually, and then we met some other friends out there too. So it was just a bunch of us that went, but yeah, it was one of those things where I guess kind of call it a date night, but at the same time, I didn't see my wife during the show because I was just photographing.
Oh, you're taking pictures?
Yeah, I was
Nice.
just
How
for
was that?
fun. Great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do they like? Did you like? Do you? I'm asking you like a parent. Do you have to talk to them beforehand
No.
and say no? Like our bands
Yeah.
usually like pretty cool,
Yeah.
pretty chill with that. Yeah.
It's all dependent on the venue.
Okay.
So certain venues like the Burton Cummings
Yeah.
and bigger ones, they will not allow you to shoot in there because rights and photography. I don't know. It's crazy. Smaller venues like the Pyramid Park Theater and stuff. It's you can just bring your cameras and shoot.
They don't care nearly as much.
Because they're smaller bands, and a lot of those bands, they're just happy, to get footage, right?
Yeah. Did you get pretty good shots?
I haven't actually gone through them.
Oh no.
No.
How many pictures do you think you took?
I'm gonna guess because I was because of the mosh pit and stuff. I started firing like crazy, just because I didn't want to miss something. So I probably overshot that show like crazy.
What does overshooting look like? Like, do you know, like when you open, let's say you do like a concert or something like that, and you open the memory card and you see the photos and you see the number, do you know, like as soon as you see that number, you're like, oh wow, I way overshot that?
Yeah.
Or do you only hit that once you start like working through them?
No, you when you see the number, you know
Dang.
that you overshot. And the thing is, like, especially, I forget how long they played. It seemed like it was quite the long set. I don't know, close to an hour.
Yeah.
So in an hour, I roughly know how many shots I will get if
Okay.
I just spray and pray for a lot of them. And for shows, a lot of times you have to, especially with an active band like that I saw. Like they jump around a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So then you spray and pray. Hopefully that one of the shots will be good, right? And you can't really. Well, you could step aside and kind of look to see if you got it, but I mean, you might miss something. So like, nobody's. I don't have time for that. I just gotta just keep shooting.
Can you enjoy the concert still when you're like
Yeah.
taking, like you're able to kind
Oh
of take them
yeah,
both in?
yeah. I was rocking out. That was fun.
That's sweet.
Yeah. So I have a lot of fun shooting the concerts in general, and yeah, I still enjoy them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty. I'd be stressed, I think. Like I would be like, I don't know why. I'd be like consumed by the, like what, like the one side or the other. I feel like my brain is like, it's like, okay, you're doing this, or you're doing that. You can't do both of them. You can't enjoy both of them.
Oh man, I don't think I could function that way.
Yeah. It's probably not healthy, eh?
Yeah, probably not. I don't know. Like I feel like if you're a photographer, you kind of have to learn to accept or yeah, to love both things or being able to enjoy the moment while photographing it, especially like same with weddings, right?
I guess otherwise you can just be miserable through the whole process. Hey,
Yeah,
if
you're a good photographer. If you don't like weddings,
Mhm.
that's gonna be a long day.
Yeah, that would be.
Yeah.
That'd be
So, well, confession: weddings are not my favorite thing to shoot. However, I try to find things that might make it fun. Right. So I look forward to like the sunset photos, all those things. I know every wedding photographer dreads the reception.
But why?
'Cause it's the least creative. It's just speeches.
Yeah.
Like no, and I don't think it's a secret, so I'm not giving anything away. But like, I don't think I've yet to meet a photographer that like enjoys that part of the wedding.
It's I actually don't enjoy that part of the wedding either as a participant. I'm always, is it just me? Like you can be honest. Typically the bridesmaid speeches lack in enjoyment for me in particular.
Yeah, maybe it's because we're dudes though, because they tend to be very emotional.
That's fair. Yeah.
Where guys, we tend to. Okay, I'm not
Yeah.
gonna speak for everyone, but we tend to enjoy just the humor, the
Yeah,
funny
a lot more
things.
jokes, eh?
Yeah, we like to, yeah, bring up embarrassing things. Oh man, COVID.
Don't say that word. We're gonna get demonetized.
Oh yeah, instant. We did it.
Yeah, now we're gonna shut this thing down.
Yeah,
Some bust
Start
through the door.
over.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess that's true. Hey, like the girls do tends to go towards the emotional side, where the
Yeah.
guys tend to make a lot more jokes. That makes sense. Eh?
So then we enjoy that. I think
Yeah.
as a general. I mean, I've seen some guys that their speeches, wow,
Are bad or
yeah, bad, horrible. Now, don't get me wrong. I had a speech one time. I don't think that was the greatest either. I think it was pretty bad. To be 100% honest, it was for my brother. Yeah.
I like the ones where they start snowballing. Like it's usually guys do this when things start falling apart.
Yeah.
They can't walk away
No.
or get an out. They usually just keep trying to save it.
Yep.
It's like it just keeps going downhill, and then they're like trying to catch it,
And then they get nervous.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's yeah. I've seen it happen, and I've also seen it happen where the bridesmaid speech was actually like long, beautiful. It was really good, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the guy comes up, and it's literally like 5 seconds long, and just cheers. I'm like, I mean, I like the short speeches, it's fine, but I'm like, man, you could have
Put a little more thought.
a
into
little
it.
bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some. Although, as like a person that sits in the audience, those are nice. Like
Those
the
are-
5 second ones are like, it's always like,
Yeah. Now give me food.
yeah. Instantly, when I see like a mom walk up with like a flipping envelope of papers or like a binder of
binder.
paper, yeah, and you're like, oh my gosh,
Here's the whole story.
yeah.
It all started.
Brian, come up with me. I can't do this alone.
Yeah. And then the dad is always grumpy, and he
Yeah.
never says anything. That's legit. Every wedding I've been to, the dad does not like to speak,
Yeah.
and they're just quiet.
Yeah, he's always like, I can't speak because I'm going to cry, or I can't speak because I don't speak.
Right. And the one thing that most of them say is just like, "Oh, welcome to the family," and then that's it, right? So the mom does all the emotional thing, and then the dad is like, just welcome to the family. That's kind of like it's like Vin Diesel.
I knew I was a little uncertain when I first met you, but after you cleaned up the dog shit in the lawn, you're part of us now.
Yeah. You made it, son.
The end.
Yeah.
Speaking of Vin Diesel, have you seen the new Fast?
No, I have not.
Well,
I saw that you got dragged to it.
Yeah, man, I wasn't gonna go to that. It started at 9:45 at night. Guess what? It's 2 hours and 20 minutes long. I made it an hour. I left.
Did you actually leave?
Yeah, I left.
So,
okay. So it's everything you would expect.
Yeah.
So there's no surprises.
Right.
But I had a couple.
Okay. Yeah. And I finished that thought. I have a question.
I had a couple things going on. One, my quad kept cramping really, really bad sitting in the seat. Like it was locking up. So that was really painful. I couldn't get it to stop. The other thing was it started at 9:45 and I usually go to bed at 10. So at about the 11 p.m. time, I was just like, I'm so tired. And this quad thing is cramping up. I don't really care about this movie. Mm-hmm. I'm just going to go home.
Yeah.
Anyways, go ahead.
Yeah. Does he say for family?
Oh, I'm sure, man. I
you
feel
didn't like make it that far, did you?
I think like in the first 20 minutes they say family. I bet it. I bet 10 times. Yeah, man. I lost it laughing at about 4 parts in the start. Like it's so ridiculous. Okay, this is what I don't get. You watch John Wick, like a movie like John Wick.
Which we're gonna go get there, because
it's supposed to be over the top. Right. Like it's supposed to be all those things. It doesn't pretend to be anything other than it. If you ask whoever, it's supposed to be that. But for some reason, I think the thing that irritates everybody about the Fast and the Furious is they kind of don't say it's supposed to be ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like I feel like they leave it as if like you're supposed to like you're supposed to think
this is serious.
Good. Yeah. Where John Wick I feel like is a little bit more focused ridiculousness, where Fast and Furious is chaos. Like, hey, spoiler alert, there's a part where there's a big bomb that's in the back of a truck. It rolls down like all of Italy.
I've seen behind the scene footage of that. Yeah,
it's so ridiculous, man. And Vin Diesel jumps his car off of a bridge into the back of a crane.
Of course he does.
To spin it around. It hits the bomb into the river. His car proceeds to crash into the bank of the river onto a road and then drive away.
Wow. Sounds awesome. I'm gonna watch it yet. One day.
I'm really looking forward to like when they start driving like each other. Like when one day the car breaks and The Rock shows up and Vin Diesel just hops on his back like he's like a Clydesdale, and they run to the next scene.
Yeah. Well, I think this is the last one, isn't it? Or did they sign up for more?
I heard that that Hobbs is back. Like
really?
he's back in the franchise. Yeah.
Man, I know people that are really hardcore fans of those movies, which is kind of sad. I mean, I understand if you like them because they're funny, or it seems like you want to see the jokes and stuff. Yeah. You just want to laugh. But if you're taking the movies like serious and you get emotionally invested in the story, it's kind of like, yo.
And there's those people too.
Yeah, 100%.
There's those 100%. People that it's not that big of a deal. Like,
yeah,
you don't even understand what family's about.
They named their kids Dom.
They only wear wife beaters. Yeah. We should have done that for this, man. We should have both worn like a white wife beater.
Yeah, shaved my head.
Yeah. Speaking of which, how long have you been growing your hair? You've had long hair for a long time now.
Yeah, it's been I don't think it was the beginning of COVID, but it's very close.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was just sick and tired of the rules, and I was just like, well, screw it. I'm like,
you're just gonna grow that sucker out.
That was really stupid times.
Yeah,
so I didn't want to partake. So
you're like, I ain't participating.
No.
Yeah. I should have done that, man.
Yeah. So, and since then, I just like, whatever.
Did you have long hair when you were younger?
No.
No, just now?
Yeah.
What's your preference?
That's a good question.
Because I feel
it depends. I like to wear hats. So with this hair, like I can't.
It's just too thick.
Oh yeah. The hat just like falls off.
Oh yeah.
Because this pushes it off. As soon as I do something, the hat just goes. I'm like, shit.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Do you feel attached to your hair a little bit?
No.
Really? Yeah. Because I've grown this little bit of hair.
And you're pretty attached to it?
I'm getting like a little bit attached. Like it's like a part of me now.
Yeah. Have you named it yet?
No.
Oh.
but it's kind of there. It's kind of
Don't
like
name
a,
it then,
little friend.
because then as soon as you do,
Yes,
you're not gonna want to cut it.
isn't that like a Russian thing that they make you get a chicken and you raise this chicken
Oh,
and you have
maybe.
to name the chicken and then at the end you have to kill your chicken.
Wow.
Yeah, so there's a chicken coming to your house this week. if you want this podcast to come out and me to cut out all the bad stuff you said,
Okay.
then
Well, that's kind of
you're gonna have to raise that chicken.
That's interesting. Hey, I want to backtrack it a little bit to the John Wick thing.
Okay.
Have you seen the fourth one?
No, I haven't. You can
Okay.
tell me though. I'm okay with it.
Okay. Okay. I'm not gonna give away spoilers. However, it's a beautiful movie. Like the settings.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know which other movie has more killer settings than that one. The lighting is fantastic. Every scene that showed up, I was just like, this is just gorgeous.
Do they use you'd know better than I would, but do they use a lot of like purples, like dark purples in John Wick? Is that the color that they tend to use?
In this one, I'm not sure, but I know what in this one what they did in every scene was they always had two complementary colors.
Okay.
So if there was orange, you either had something green, tealish, or blue in it. Always, every scene, and once you watch it, you'll notice it now, or even without me telling you. But there was always something that stood out that was the exact opposite of the main color.
Really?
Yeah, like when he's in front of a big building that's lit up red, he's blue. Because somehow they made him and the people blue. So you'll notice that. He goes to, I forget which other place, but yeah, I noticed it all over the place. But the settings in that movie are absolutely amazing. It's just so good. And I'm like, every single scene, I'm like, I wish I could shoot there. Because that would just
Be sick.
like, no matter where you point the camera, you'd have
Beautiful.
a good picture.
What would you say? Because for me, and the little I know about all that cinematography and everything, my top like visual movie, like obviously, like I really like The Dark Knight. I think it visually looks really good. I really like. I think Lord of the Rings visually looks really good.
Okay.
And the new Batman movie with Robert Pattinson visually looks really good.
Yes.
Is it on par with any of those?
I think it looks. I would say the newest Batman probably.
Yeah.
Like stylistically, I think they're very similar. Where the newest Batman used lighting a lot that way too.
Yeah.
And
what do you prefer out of those? Like, what would you put as like your top
movie?
like top like visual? Although when I say that, Blade Runner 2020 whatever 2045 whatever it was, that movie was visually insane.
Dune is one.
Yeah, Dune.
Oh my gosh! Like, what's the director's name? Villeneuve. Like, oh man, that guy kills it. Now I know some people didn't like this, like the movie in general, because the story is a little bit slow and boring, but visually it's absolutely amazing too.
Do you think the new one's gonna be good?
I think so.
It looks good.
Yeah.
I need to watch the first one, like I actually watch it through. I did when I watched it, I was like half awake.
Yeah.
Like I was kind of falling
and
asleep.
it is you have to pay attention in that movie in order. Like, you can't just be half-assing it into that one. Like
I realized
like
that.
Fast and Furious, that's a half-ass movie,
Yeah.
right? You go into it, whatever.
Yeah.
If you don't get it, you can probably put the pieces together. You know what happens. This guy jumps over this and this, blah blah blah.
You know what though? Now that you say that, it's almost you might not actually, because you might all of a sudden see Vin Diesel fly into space and then wake up, and somehow they're in the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah, well, see, the thing is, they did the space thing in the last movie.
Yeah, but I guess, I guess with Fast and Furious, whether they're in space or in the ocean, it doesn't matter.
No.
Like it just doesn't matter.
No.
There's no like, because in 5 seconds from then they're gonna be somewhere else, and maybe someone who was dead will be back alive. So it doesn't. Whereas I feel like that Dude movie, I was gonna watch it just as like a background noise as I was falling asleep,
no, yeah.
and then I started it, and I'm like, man, I'm way too tired. This is to me, it was a really good movie.
Yeah.
The start of it that I watched. So,
Yeah.
it also seems like a movie, one of those movies that you want to see in theaters.
IMAX especially, probably like
Yeah.
really big with, but I don't know. I really enjoy that movie. John Wick was a fun one. Like that one, I feel like John Wick is a perfect balance between mindless and then visually just really appealing.
Yeah.
Like you're invested on both things where you're just like, he's kicking ass for probably like what 60-70% of the movie.
It's insane.
Oh, that's the other thing. Man, if I could have John Wick's stamina and endurance, oh baby.
What would you do first?
I don't know.
Do you think you take out the whole town?
Yes, probably. I don't know, but like
Unlocking the doors.
the guy, without giving anything away, he gets hit like by 4 cars and keeps fighting dudes off. He gets slammed. Oh man, so many things. Pushed off like this massive stairs. He gets up and keeps going.
This
And
sounds
this is-
spectacular.
yeah, I know, and it's pretty badass. And this is an entire night worth of people trying to kill him, and he's running around, and he makes it, and he's fighting almost the entire night.
Amen.
Like I'm like, dude, what is this guy? So like, what?
That's wild. Does he ever get? And I have to rewatch them because this might sound really dumb. Does he ever get a new dog?
Yeah,
He does.
yeah. He
Is it early on in the series that he gets a new dog?
Yeah, I think in the second movie.
I vaguely remember. Okay, I
He's
gotta
not in
rewatch
it very
them.
much, but they're like he leaves the dog at the hotel, and the guy asks him like, okay, what's his name? He's like, he doesn't have a name. So then he just calls him Good Boy.
Oh, classic.
Yeah,
It's such a movie.
I know.
You know, it's such
Yeah.
a like.
Have I told you a story about me actually seeing Keanu Reeves?
No, tell me.
Yeah.
This is okay. Dang, we're getting deep now.
Okay, so I tell you. You know the log cabin here in Morden? It was Morden actually. That's the craziest thing.
Actually,
Yeah, dude. So, hear me out. Full disclosure, I don't actually know if it was him.
oh
but
jeez. Oh jeez. Well, here we go, you guys.
but hear me out, okay?
Okay.
So, and you're a motorcycle guy, so you'll love this story. So, me and Clarissa we're walking out of that log cabin on First Street. And I see in the corner of my eye a chrome motorcycle. How many people around here do you know that have a fully chromed out motorcycle?
Exactly 0 people.
Exactly. Guess what he rides?
Does he ride a chrome motorcycle?
Yes.
He has a motorcycle company, doesn't he?
Exactly. And that company makes a chrome motorcycle that he used to ride. And the funny thing is, during that time, he was in Manitoba filming a movie. And dead serious. People at the time were telling me that they seen him at bars and stuff, and I forget which movie it was. So I saw the motorcycle briefly. It looked like the Arch motorcycle. I think that's what his company's called. Arch
I
Motorcycles.
think it's Arch or Arc.
Arc. Yeah, it could be
Might be
Arc.
Arc.
It looked 100% like that bike. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, there's only one person that would ride that bike and could afford that bike. Because those bikes are insanely expensive.
I'm starting to believe you.
And so, yeah. And then he was going down. He was riding out of Morden. So I guess he must have just gone for a joyride.
You should send him. Is he on Instagram?
I don't think so.
Dang. I was going to say you should send him a DM.
Be like, yo, were you in Morden?
6 years ago. I don't know if you remember me,
Yeah.
but you weren't looking at me.
No.
And I seen you.
So I'm very certain that it was him because I haven't seen that motorcycle since.
I'm going to trust you. I'm going to
And
believe. I'm going to blindly
people
believe
around
you.
here, they ride motorcycles that I recognize. Most of them,
Yeah.
a lot of them. I mean, there's a few motorcycles that it's like, whatever. It's a motorcycle. That's nothing special. I noticed the special ones, like yours. Like I noticed it instantly.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, I noticed like my buddy Wes's motorcycle
Yeah.
instantly. So all those that I recognize, I know which motorcycles they are, and this is the only one I've seen like it.
And a chrome one especially. You don't see
Chrome.
like chrome.
Exactly.
You do see a lot of 80-year-old guys, not 80, 60-year-old guys driving around with a lot of chrome on their
Yeah,
bikes.
it wasn't that.
No, dang.
No.
Because they usually have like usually someone on the back.
Yeah.
Which I always wonder, like sometimes the people they have on the back, I'm always curious how that works. Because some of them look like they've formed to the bike. Do you know what I mean? Like it looks like they've lived on the back of that bike for a while.
Yeah.
And I always think in my head, I'm like, do you get calloused to the road, you know?
I don't know.
Like,
That's
does
an
your
interesting
body
question.
started, like, you know, like mountain bikers or like road bikers where you have to wear like bike shorts and stuff and your butt starts to get calloused? Do you think like people who do like those older people who do those long haul like
They
motorcycle
probably
rides?
have padded
Yeah.
pants. I would imagine.
I feel like my inner thighs would start to ache.
Yeah.
What do you think you'd be? What do you want to be? Would you want to be the passenger or the driver?
Driver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that.
100%. And I mean,
What if you're? What
I'm
if
a big
it's,
dude, so like I don't think anyone smaller than me could push my weight around.
Have you seen some
I
of these
don't-
bikes, man? Have you seen some of these?
Yeah, but like I mean,
I'm not trying to call anybody out here. I think you're fine.
no, but I mean in a sense of like being a passenger, like when you right.
What if it was you and another dude though? Like, does that change anything, or are you still wanting to drive?
I would drive.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, he can hug me.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if he was like a
he can
good,
spoon me.
like a good father figure looking guy, maybe a little bit bigger than me, mid 40s or something, and just soft spoken, and
Yeah,
then I'd be passenger.
for sure, 100%.
Shows good leadership skills.
Yeah,
Pays for lunches for me.
man, amazing. Sign me up.
You're going passenger
Yeah.
too?
Yeah,
I'm going sidecar.
Have you ever had a passenger on your bike?
On like my bike
Yeah.
now? No, it doesn't have a passenger seat.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, I could
You're
get a
smart.
passenger seat, but I don't want to get
You don't
one.
want to?
No.
Or one of those side buckets.
Yeah, I do really want to buy a French bulldog
Oh, yeah,
to stick in the like little side pouch.
yeah.
But then I
But
like
you
at
have
the,
a dog. Why don't
she
you-
would never.
No?
No, she would jump out on the highway, and she's a lab.
Yes, true.
That would be a massive dog. That'd be funny though. It's just big dog strapped. Yeah, but those like French bulldogs to me are absurdly expensive.
Yeah. I don't know what it is. I don't know why dogs are so expensive.
Our dog was $50,
See, that seems reasonable to me.
but she also came with a bad case of worms. So there's that. So with every good story, you get the bad.
Okay. But still, like, there's some. I heard of I forget who it was, but they sold their dog for like 30 grand.
That's insane. That's insane.
It was a pit bull.
How much money? Okay, how much money would you have to spend 30 grand on a dog?
I don't know.
You have
But
to name
see,
them
see, the
out.
thing
Like
is,
$1 million, would you be willing to fork over 30 grand?
for a dog?
Yeah.
Nah.
Okay, 10 million.
No.
Okay, 50,
Nope.
100.
Nah.
Okay, you're a billionaire.
Nah.
Okay, hang on. Let
You
me
gotta
think.
you see. This goes back to the video.
Okay,
I
you're
saw 50 Cent with the
the
sneakers.
shoes. Yeah.
Like
Did you sent that to me, didn't you?
I might have,
I think so, because that was good. That was
because
good.
I'm like, this guy, he can afford the whole store,
Yep.
but he's reasonable. Like, no, you can buy a small car for the price of those shoes. That's even though he can easily afford them, he's just like, no, this is ridiculous.
That's a sweet move too. Like
Yeah.
from someone who can afford it, who sees like the ridiculousness
Yep.
within it. I love that. Like it's like you
Yeah.
I like sometimes as a person who is not that wealthy in comparison,
Yeah,
I'm wealthy in like, you know, family and friends and
you have
right?
friends.
Okay. Family and
I'm not your.
podcast partners.
Yeah.
Like you see stuff like that, and then you're like, oh, that's silly. And then people who are like in that world are like, you just don't understand. And you're like, oh, maybe I don't understand.
Maybe.
And someone like 50 Cent walks in and he's just like, no, this is stupid.
Yeah.
And he's got all this money.
Everyone's just like,
and it's like, hey, this guy with all this money, who's made a lot of money, thinks this is dumb and he can afford this. I'm like, okay, I don't feel so dumb. Although, you know what? If you have a lot of money or you don't have a lot of money, buy whatever you want. I don't care.
Well, exactly.
Except for people. Don't buy people. That seems like a bad idea.
Yeah, it seems pretty bad.
Yeah.
Or drugs.
No, you can buy drugs.
Some drugs.
Do them at home.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do your drugs at home.
Yeah.
I don't want to see it.
Exactly. Yeah. Don't bring it onto the streets. Nobody wants to see that.
Do you think it would fix it if they made people like hard drugs? They made them legal, but you had to do them on the street. Like you had to do them in public.
Whoa. Do you think it would stop a lot of people?
I don't know. I wonder how many people are doing them at home. Do you think a lot of hard drug users have homes?
Yeah.
Yeah? And okay, what's a hard drug?
I don't know, cocaine maybe?
That would be the line. The bottom end of it, you think?
Probably.
Yeah, okay. Everything else above cocaine is obviously a hard drug. Okay.
Maybe. And I would assume so.
Like, would you consider ecstasy a hard drug?
Yeah, I think so.
You have to do ecstasy in public?
Wow.
people just run around on cocaine and ecstasy.
Well, I mean, if you want to see that, you can go to like LA.
Yeah, that's right.
Or
doesn't
New
seem
York.
to be slowing them down.
No. You go down the street, there's homeless people all drugged up. Like, who wants to see that? They're doing it. It's not legal, but
have you ever had a desire to like live in a place like that, like
No.
in those big cities?
No.
Me neither.
No. I feel like LA, yeah, I mean, the weather is always nice.
Yeah.
Or like California, I guess, but I don't know, not really.
Yeah,
Like,
I am a sucker for like plus like 30-degree weather and stuff like that. I do love that, but I feel like there's other places.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that suck in my head that just like are less congested.
Yep.
And less like it seems, and obviously I've never lived there, so what the heck do I know? But it seems like really like pretentious in a way, like really out of touch. Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know if pretentious is the right word. Out of touch. And my brain is like, I don't want to.
I don't know. I'd probably rather live in a place like Alberta, like Banff or something.
Oh yeah, beautiful.
Where you get like a good summer, you get a good winter with snow. You have mountains. You can in summertime you can go, on the trails, hit the trails if you're into that. Winter you can go snowboarding if you're into that. Whatever.
Yeah, and you can find people if you want to.
Yeah.
Like it's like a place where a lot of people are at.
Yeah.
Like if you want to find them, you can do it, and if you don't want to, there's a lot of places where you could kind of lose yourself.
In the States, I'm not quite sure where I would want to move to if I would move to the States.
Albuquerque.
New Mexico.
Because?
I don't know.
Brings you back to home.
Oh.
Which leads me to my next question. Where were you born, Ed?
I was born in Burlington.
Dang it.
Ontario.
I do this every time. Where were you born before that? No, sorry. Where were you born after that? After being born in Ontario, where were you born?
Born again.
I love it. I love it how we both laughed at that. It's like, so I was like, come on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, where did you grow up?
I grew up in Mexico. Yeah, Chihuahua.
Chihuahua.
Yeah. I was just outside a city called Cuauhtemoc, Chihuahua. Yeah, it was fun. It was a good times. Man, last time we were here, you asked me this question. And I was just like, man, I don't think we actually went into it. And all I said was, growing up there was good, and we rode bikes. And I don't know what distracted us.
Yeah.
And we just went completely opposite. I was just like, man, that was the stupidest thing to say. Because now people are going to be like, I think I just rode bikes.
This guy just rode bikes. What did you do, like, growing up?
Rode bikes.
Did you get into, like, was the, like, in that area, is the cartel stuff pretty big? Ooh, settle in.
Sorry.
This is going to be good. This is going to be a good story. I can feel it.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, when I was growing up, I don't know how big the cartel thing was. Like I know it was there, uh, but maybe my mom and everyone, they just like um, kept a lot of that from me for obvious reasons, right? Um, I know now from what I hear stories, it's pretty bad. Uh, they're basically running Mexico. If you like, it's
Do you, s-
crazy.
do you still have any family there?
Yeah, yeah. I have most of my extended family still out there.
Would they ever move here because of that, or do they still
No,
kind of like it there?
yeah, they still like it there.
Would
Yeah,
you ever move
move
back?
back?
Yeah,
I don't think so.
no.
Nah.
Uproot your family, and we're
Yeah.
going back.
No, I don't know. Like the thing is, when you're scared to go out at nighttime, that's not a place I want to grow up or have my family grow up in.
Yeah,
Like, yeah, there's pros and cons. Don't get me wrong. There's probably a lot of pros there too, but um, yeah, I don't know.
what
It's
were some of those pros and cons growing up? Like, what were the good things like that you think back and you're like, oh, I missed this, or that was a really good memory?
man, that's a good question. We did so many things. Like we were out and about all the time. That it's funny. I'm I'm quite the gamer myself, but I was never allowed to play too much video games. So we were always sent outside to do things. There was no cell phones. Like man, I remember when my parents got that brick phone, cell phone. That was crazy.
The big like
Yeah. Well, it was. It's probably like this long. That's what she said.
for the people can't see on screen, he's displaying a 3 foot long phone.
Yeah.
You had to put it on it. It had wheels, like a
I know wheels.
suitcase.
Yeah. But like it was crazy to see that. And I mean, at the time, I think most of us didn't really know what cell phones were. Just you could make phone calls. But so yeah, we played video games on tube TVs, which was awesome. But we were limited to that, so we had to play outside quite a bit, which was fun. We got into a lot of trouble. Um, I feel like back in the day, and I don't know. I think everyone says that uh, that growing up was like the best times, but I think it's just because we were young, naive, and we didn't have the adult problems to deal with.
Yeah, like
So we enjoyed that time. I feel like every most people that grow up in an let's say somewhat normal
Mhm.
environment, not like an abusive whatever. I feel all of those people they're like, yeah, when we were little, like those are the best times. Yeah, because your biggest problem was, or yeah, like finishing a boss. Like,
Yeah.
how am I gonna beat this boss?
Yeah, you rented a
Or
game from the local store, or
yeah,
borrowed it from someone, and you know you have to return it, and you're like trying to
right.
beat it before the end of the
Yeah,
thing.
exactly.
Yeah,
So I think most of us remember childhood as a good thing because we didn't have all these adult problems. But
yeah.
I don't know. We played soccer,
Do you remember?
basketball.
Like, I miss, and I don't miss it. I miss kind of being bored.
Yeah,
You know, like being actually bored, like sitting around. Like as you're saying this, I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, I didn't get a phone until I was like 17,
yeah,
somewhere around there. And I just remember it being like with your friend and being so bored. Eventually, you find like the dumbest stuff funny,
exactly.
and you just
And
lay there and like lay there or sit there wherever it is. You find a piece of
yeah,
floor. Your buddy's on a recliner somewhere. You're across the room laying on a
mhm,
carpet, and someone says something stupid, and you just sit there and laugh forever.
yeah,
Now, I don't know if what kids do. Obviously, I'm not a kid. I'm not hanging out with a bunch of
yeah,
kids, but um, I don't like. Do kids get bored? Because I know,
yeah.
like, if I'm with my like buddies or whatever, and we don't have anything to do, everyone is sitting there on their phone
Phone.
scrolling.
Yep. Which is kind of sad because back in the day, you figured out things to do. Now
Yeah,
you're just like, let's just scroll together. We're like doom scrolling, right?
yeah,
Um, Not that I'm a kid, but I imagine that's what kids are doing. Um, but like my daughter, my oldest, yeah, she comes up to me all the time, like, I'm bored. I want to go on a screen. It's always a screen, either Switch, iPad, or movies, whatever. And as much as I love video games and all that stuff, I find myself saying a lot of times, no, you got to find something else to do. But I don't know how. My friends are this and blah blah blah. I'm like, well, I mean, it's part of being a kid. You use your imagination, be creative,
Yeah,
find
don't
things to
lose that.
do. Yeah, find things to do. Be bored. If you're bored, man, enjoy it.
Just
And
be bored.
Yeah, once you're older, you're not gonna be bored.
Isn't that crazy too? Like as you get older and when you were a kid, the last thing you want to do is be bored.
Yeah,
And then as you get older or you're an adult, the only thing you want to do is have nothing else to do.
you just want to sit down and just let everybody leave me alone.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's crazy, isn't it?
And then the even crazier part is, and I'm just as much to blame for this, you do that and you think to yourself, man, I want nothing more than to have nothing else to do. And then when you do have nothing else to do, you sit on your phone.
Yep.
And you waste that time, like that I don't know, that treasure of time sitting there being consumed by the stuff you don't want to be consumed by.
The one thing that gets me sometimes is like I get onto my computer, I'm like, I gotta edit or do some stuff, and I'm like, oh, look at that, my favorite YouTuber posted a video. Okay, I'm just gonna quickly watch that and then do my work.
Yeah.
Big mistake. If you're
I'm with you, man. I'm
set to do work, I can't even go on a website because I'll start watching stuff and then just like, oh, this is cool.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, an hour has passed and I've done no work and I'm like, shit.
The algorithm got a hold of you.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that's one thing I've actually started doing in here. Like I have the gym, which I usually work out in, but for the past maybe month and a half, I've actually gone to a public gym simply because of stuff like that. Like I would take, let's say, some pre-workout, I'd kind of sit. All of a sudden I'd be watching like a YouTube video and a bunch of time would pass. I'm like, oh, I just wasted all that time. Or I would start doing some work, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then a bunch of time has passed from the time I was actually supposed to be working out, where I've noticed when I have to leave here and go to a destination, just like the purpose it is for other people, it's like, no, I have to do that. Like, I'm here to do that thing. I can't sit on my phone and watch a YouTube video, or I probably shouldn't, or I can't do any work because I don't have access to my computer.
That's true, yeah.
Which has kind of been nice. I don't know how long I'll do it for, though. But it's kind of just been a nice break to switch things up. I don't know if it's going to be a lasting thing or if it's just something to break up routine.
Maybe.
Yeah. Okay. So how long did you live in Mexico? Like, when did you move?
Man, now I don't even know. When did I move to Canada, Pally? When was it?
I'm going to take a guess. Okay. I'm going to take a guess.
I went into, guess.
Like when you actually moved to Canada, I'm going to say you were 17.
Okay. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I'm really, okay. I'm going to sound stupid here, but that's fine. I'm really bad with, and maybe it's just because it doesn't interest me very much. There's some people, they know exactly every single age that you are in, every single grade that you are in.
Mm-hmm.
I could care less. That shit does not belong in my memory. Like, I don't know why.
You just erase it.
I'm just like, I don't care how old I was back then. Like, whatever.
Is that like a trauma response? You're just canceling grades. You're like, don't need grade 2 anymore. On to grade.
Yeah. So when somebody says, "Oh yeah, I was in grade 2," and they're like, "Oh yeah, you were this old," I'm like, man, how do you know that? Like, for me, I don't retain that information for some reason.
The only reason I don't know how old I was in grades.
Yeah.
But I do remember the year of the grade I was in because my grades matched up with the last digits of each year.
Oh, okay.
So grade 1 was 2001, grade 2 was 2002, and it progressed that way. So that's the only reason I know, but I don't know how old I was in each one of those grades.
Yeah.
I'm sure with a little bit of thought, I could probably figure that out based on those, but.
So like, yeah, same here. I would be like, man, okay, I got to do some math, but whatever age you are in grade 10, that's when I moved to Canada.
That's when you moved. Okay, let's
what age is that?
So that's 2010 for me. I'm gonna backtrack.
Yo.
2010. So 10 years back, and then I was born in 94, so 6 years plus that, so 16.
Okay, that's it.
I'm gonna say
That sounds right.
someone is
So
gonna
you
be
said-
like,
you
"You're
said-
an idiot."
Yeah, bro.
Hey, you're an idiot. It's gonna be a totally different number, and there's just, but that's okay. We'll go with 16.
Yeah, it sounds right. 15,
I was pretty
16.
close.
Yeah.
Dang.
So yeah, that sounds right. Yeah, people are gonna be like, man, these dumbasses.
You're 14 in grade 10.
Yeah, exactly.
These idiots.
Whatever. We don't care. We have more important things, man, to worry about. But yeah, I did high school and college out in Ontario. Played some football out for the Highland Hawks.
Football.
Yeah.
Was there any football in Mexico before you moved,
No.
or did you, when you moved up here, is when you started to play football?
Yeah, when I moved out here. Actually, that's what kept me here. No, actually, I wanted to go to school here and not go back to Mexico. And then I heard that they had a football team. I'm like, sign me up. Let's go. I've always wanted to play football. I loved football. I'm a big guy, and I like to hit people.
What'd you play in football?
I was
what position?
defensive and offensive tackle.
Nice.
Yeah.
What does that guy do?
The offensive tackle protects the quarterback, so you just gotta push people around, try to not.
So you're in contact every play then?
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, and the defensive tackle, well, the complete opposite.
Try and get the
is
quarterback.
it's just you just gotta keep pushing. It was fun. I don't think I was a great football player, but
You enjoyed it though?
yeah, it was a lot of fun.
I'm always curious with football. Football and wrestling always fascinate me in terms of the discipline side of things. Like football seems very like team focused and like work together and work hard together.
Yeah.
Wrestling always seems like teaches you how to just like just keep working.
Yeah.
Maybe not as quite as much a team thing, but they those two sports always fascinated me. I've never played either of them. I did wrestle for about a year back in like grade 7 or
Did you?
8. Yeah, dude.
How old were you then?
Not only enough to use my brain, that's for sure. Because the only reason I did it was so I didn't have to go to class. Because every once in a while we got to travel to go wrestle,
Oh, cool.
and and then one day my dad decided to come watch me wrestle, and found out that I would just get my ass whooped, and that I was just trying not to go to class.
Wow.
So yeah, that's my experience with wrestling. So it's not very good. But did you pick anything up from that thing? From that thing.
That
from
thing,
football?
yeah.
From that thing, from football,
Like in what terms?
like in terms of
Or-
like, was it a pretty connected team, or
Oh, yeah.
like what kind of things like did it teach you different things, or was it more just one of those things like, okay, this is just good activity, good recreation, I just enjoy hitting people?
No, it's like I think any sport, like especially if it's like a team sport, it teaches you to work well with other people.
Yeah.
If one of you does bad, the whole team basically does bad. Where I feel like boxing or wrestling, there's only one person to blame if you do bad, and that's you, right? The team, well, if there's one player that does bad, that means the team is also letting that person down because they're not giving that person what they need to be better. So I think being a team player and just making sure that everyone is, the best they can be around you it's probably the biggest thing that it taught me. So whenever you do things like, and that, I think that translates to like being part of a band too, where there are some bands where there's one person that's just, I'm the greatest and I gotta do everything, and whatever, that's fine if they write good music.
Every
so
band's
be
got
it.
a Jared Leto,
Yeah,
right?
of course. But
shout out Jared Leto.
yeah, but if you have a band that knows how to work well together, I think you end up creating some really cool stuff. But then again, if you're a solo artist and you're good, yeah, you're gonna. It's just like boxing or wrestling, right? And if you suck, then you're the only one to blame because you don't have no bands.
Do you find you work well with a team now? like in different
I
things you
think
do?
so.
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
actually say like just the bit I know you is that is one thing about you that's good.
Yeah.
The one thing about you that's good.
Thank you.
I am mangling. I'm mangling something. That
I think
thing.
we're both tired. 'Cause-
Remember that one thing you do?
Yeah, yeah.
That's the one thing you're good at.
Yeah, that's great.
Just so you know. No, that is something that you're good at though. You're good at like working with and cooperating with other people, figuring out how to work with them. I have noticed that. I can't say the same about myself all the time.
Yeah.
But I also
You're
didn't
a
play a
little
whole
bit
lot
of a diva.
Oh, for sure,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
For sure. Just
Yeah.
wait till this podcast ends and I storm out of this thing for messing up 3 sentences. So, okay, you played football
Yeah.
in grade 10
Basketball.
when you were 35 years old.
Yeah, exactly.
And because that's how old grade 10 kids are.
Exactly.
And then
I think it's like 18.
18.
Wait, maybe
Shut up. I was like, wait, what? And this, where were you? Like, where at this time? Like, where were you playing football?
Dundas, Ontario.
Ontario?
It's, yeah. Just
Okay, is that
outside of
close to
Hamilton.
where you were born?
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, yeah. I would say it's probably 40, man. Yeah, probably 45 minutes away or something like that. Well, okay. So close. Yeah, I guess.
Okay, so you were born in Ontario, moved to Mexico,
Yeah.
moved back to Ontario,
Yeah.
and then now you're in Manitoba.
Yeah.
So what happened in between?
Um,
Like you've had a journey. That's the only reason I'm talking about this part too, just because I know like you've been to like different locations. So I
Yeah.
find that part fascinating.
oh, well. Yeah, it's well, it's
You-
not as fascinating, but
You probably have different perspectives or different
Yeah.
experiences that a lot of people like myself. I grew up in a small town my whole life, and that's
well,
kind
my
of what I've
wife
seen.
is the same thing.
Yeah,
She-
so it's
she's never left.
I feel like there's like perspectives. Like for me, if I was to go in and you were to tell me, "Hey, Pelle, you got to go move to this town or this city and start things up," I would have so much anxiety and
Yeah, yeah.
be so nervous to do that. Like, do you find that you're able to go and adapt to those different like location changes or experience changes?
At this point, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't. Yeah, okay, I'm not going to talk about that. Actually, it doesn't bother me to move. Like, I hate moving from house to house, just like within the town, because it's just fucking annoying.
Mm-hmm.
However, like locations, like when I moved here, yeah, no, I was actually looking forward to it. Like it was a fun thing. Moving to Ontario was a fun thing, which brings just. I'll tell you a story how me and my brother first got to Ontario.
Heck yeah.
That's a funny one, or from what I remember anyway, my perspective. But no, I would gladly move again to like a different part of wherever. I don't know if it would be a city or a small town, maybe a different country. I don't know, but I wouldn't mind.
Okay, how'd you tell me the story? I want to hear the story.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so where do I start? Okay, the reason me and my brother were going to move to Ontario or go to Ontario was to work on fields, make money, go back home to Mexico, be set for life. No, I'm kidding. For probably a few months. But like
You'd go buy a $30,000 peso dog. Just like-
yeah. Because yeah, the exchange rate and all that stuff. You worked in Canada for like the summer. You had a lot of money out in Mexico. It was like a lot of money. So we were just gonna do that. I forget where it was, but anyway, we were gonna move to Ontario, work there, move back, and move on with I don't know whatever we were gonna do. But when we got here, we remembered. Not remembered. My gosh, I'm tired. My words, my words. But
Yeah,
anyway,
it makes two of us.
yeah, we decided that we are gonna stay for school, and we went over all that stuff already. But so, what they did is, or what a lot of Mennonites out there do, they get onto this massive, like what we call here the Hutterite vans, kind of like just
Oh, yeah.
super massive
Like
vans.
15 passenger vans. Yeah.
And in a way, it's like a legal coyote, like a coyote, or a dude that smuggles people.
Yeah.
But it's a legal way of doing it. He basically just is your trip in. He'll drive you. That's it, right? You pay him some money. You have your papers. You're not illegal because
Takes you where
we're
you need to
obviously
go.
Canadian citizens. So, yeah, he just takes us to Canada, and then you can actually hire the same guy to drive you back to Mexico if you want to.
Will he wait here? Or will he
No, I
just
think
keep
I think it
doing-
goes back and forth. Yeah,
Wow.
but anyway, so my mom at the time, or my parents, like they couldn't move, or they didn't want to go to Canada for some, I don't know the actual reason. So my mom and thought it would be a good idea to put me and my brother onto one of these vans, because the guy came highly recommended from a bunch of their friends, right? You know, Mennonites, they all
Yeah, oh,
know,
yeah.
right? So, okay, cool. So that's what we did.
You guys loaded
We
up on the
packed up
van.
and went into this van. We were the only kids that were like 15 or 16. We decided, was that the age?
Yeah, I think 16 is what we
15.
decided.
I think it was
yeah.
15 when we left, but
By the time you got there, you were
it was
16 probably.
16. Yeah. It was a long journey
Yeah.
to Mordor.
Yeah. The van was not fast.
Yeah. So yeah, it was us and a bunch of Mennonites on this van. Honestly, it was a fun trip because we drove all the way through the States, right?
I was gonna say, was there
Yeah.
like, did you get to experience some things along the way? Like, was there like any stops or anything like that? Obviously for gas and stuff
Yeah.
and food, but was there any like stops where you could be like, kind of get to know the people you're traveling with or anything, or was it pretty much bit like we're going, it's you and your brother,
Yeah.
this is business?
Yeah, no, we kept, everyone kind of kept to themselves.
Oh,
However, we realized that they all kind of did look after us because we were the youngest. So
Well, that's kind of cool.
yeah, and we had our discman.
Did you have the anti-skip on that
Oh
thing?
heck yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I worked my ass off for that one, but I had it. So, and we're listening to music. You know, back in the day when you're teenagers, music, oh, it's my life. You know what I mean? And so you get lost into music. So anyway, we made our way down, and when we got to the U.S. border, we realized we didn't have our Canadian citizenship or like our birth certificate or anything with.
Oh, wait, so you didn't have any of your paperwork?
No.
Passport, anything?
No, my mom had given him the wrong thing. I don't know
Oh,
actually
shit.
what it was that she gave him, but somehow, what happened? You okay?
I'm just thinking, like, I'm trying to think of what she gave him. Like
The papers were the same size.
It was an invoice, just from like
Yeah,
something you
maybe.
bought earlier.
So I'm not actually quite sure how we got through the U.S. border. I don't know if he bribed the guards or something,
Yeah.
but yeah, we
felt
made
bad.
maybe.
Like, let these kids over. Like, come on.
Or part of us, like we talked about this a few times, and we think that the U.S. people, just like the guards, the border patrol, they didn't actually know what the documents were, so they just thought that was the right stuff.
Oh, so they maybe like were checking everybody's. Yours just maybe even got.
Yeah,
like,
because
they're not like
you
really
guys are
checking
Canadian,
them.
so they might have just been like, oh, I don't know if we've come across these often, but I mean, they're telling me these are birth certificates, so we'll just take their word for something. I'm not quite sure what
But
happened,
you made it.
but we made it.
Heck yeah.
And then we made it to Canada, and then they gave us shit again, and then they explained it, and they're like, okay, well, this makes sense. I think they called my mom, and she's like, I have their birth certificates and everything. But yeah, and then we're here.
That's crazy that you made it through two borders, and I'm guessing
I know.
I'm gonna guess that's before like 9/11.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, it was not.
Actually,
It was after.
really.
Yeah.
See, I thought if you were like pre 9/11, things were a little more slack.
No, it was definitely after 9/11 because I remember 9/11 happening, and we were definitely in Mexico when that happened.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like you?
Because I remember, yeah, I remember this because it was my best bud's Goose's birthday. His birthday is on the 10th.
Ooh, if only he knew.
Yeah, it's on the 10th, and I remember him being pissed that this happened because his birthday party got ruined.
He's like, come on.
Yeah,
I guess, yeah, you're kind of disconnected at that point. Like,
Yeah.
you're all the way in Mexico and
yeah,
kind of like, oh, this isn't good. But at whatever age you are, you're probably like, come on, I want to.
yeah.
Well, like, what year would that have been for you? Do you have any reference of that? Like that you're coming.
When did it happen?
9/11? 2001.
Was it 2001?
I think so.
I was born in 86, so there you go.
10 years, 96, 5 years.
Yeah,
So you're
yeah,
15.
Yeah.
So
So
it
that must
would-
have been, yeah.
It would have just been
Just
great
happened.
year.
Holy
Wow.
shit, we found something.
If
Dude,
we-
I actually never did the math on that. So
if we haven't really done the math on that.
you know, we have
We're-
not.
we could be
actually.
way off. We could be way off.
There's some people probably just pissed.
Yeah, they're like, that's not even his real birthday.
Yeah, that's right.
So,
Holy
okay, and
crap.
then what'd you do for work when you got here? Like, what was the work?
Good question. So, we ended up, okay, so people that we knew of this farm that always hired, either Mexican workers or Mennonites, whatever, right? That came out, and it was a eggplant farm. I know.
Is that code? You can tell me, man. I know you're young, but you can.
Yeah,
Tell me.
they had eggplants. They had what else did they have? Was it cucumbers? I actually don't remember, but I remember that there was eggplants.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah,
Because in our area, a lot of the people come up from Mexico to do like potato farming,
right. That would make sense. Yeah,
and you were doing like eggplants and vegetables and
there's
stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, cool. Did you enjoy it?
Sucked. No.
Oh,
Hell no. You were outside in the heat all day.
probably hard work.
I mean,
too, eh? Like long hours.
Yeah. And the thing is, the only thing that kept us going was like we were making bank, according to us. Because in Mexico, you don't make that much money, hourly. And here we're like, wait, you're going to give me that much an hour? Hell yeah. I'll do whatever you want.
That's
so,
sweet.
Yeah. Oh, excuse me. But yeah, now obviously looking back at it, I'm like, man, they paid us like nothing. I think I don't actually remember how much we got paid, but
Wasn't in the
don't
big
think it
scheme
was
of
that
things. It
much,
wasn't.
no.
So okay, so you moved from Mexico. You moved here. You ended up staying here because you loved it, or staying in Canada because you loved it so much, and then playing football. And then how do you end up in Manitoba?
because of Goose. Goose is my friend, so he moved out here,
Okay.
and I was in college, and it was we we're going on to summer break, and I was just like, man, I'm gonna come visit you, because we had been in touch on and off a little bit. So I kind of knew. I'm like, oh man, he went to Manitoba. I wonder what it's like. I got here and I was like, this sucks. I'm just kidding.
When did you come here? Was it winter or was it summer? Do you remember?
It was summer.
Okay.
Actually, it was fall.
Well, that's still nice.
It was September.
11th.
Close, actually. Not 10th.
You came for his birthday?
Yeah. It was
Oh,
the
wow.
day of his birthday that I came here.
Wow.
So that's how I remember that. Otherwise, I would have never remembered the date I came here.
And were you visiting at that point, or were you moving?
No,
here when you
visiting.
were moving?
Just visiting. I was going to stay for the summer. He had just gotten himself a house. So I was going to stay with him for the summer and then move back. And then I decided I didn't want to go back.
Do you regret that?
Man, that's a good question. I would say no. Because I think what I ultimately ended up building here and like my family and everything, like it would have never happened.
Yeah.
Right. So I don't regret it. I don't regret staying. I think it's
Winter never gets to you.
no, hell no.
Do you like winter?
I like
Being
winters.
born in Mexico and stuff. Yeah.
Yes.
Man.
Man, when it snowed in April, I was like, hell yeah.
Oh, screw you.
And
Okay, we're shutting this thing down. Thanks for visiting. Thanks for tuning into this
Yeah.
episode of What the Pell. This was whatever his name is that does whatever. No, I'm kidding.
yeah, you got it.
Okay.
So yeah, no, it doesn't bother me at all. Like, don't get me wrong. There's days where I'm like, okay, today it could be nice because
Yeah.
I don't want to deal with this, but it never gets to me where I'm like, I gotta move because of the winter.
Okay.
Yeah, I actually, I don't even know if I want to say this on the podcast.
Tell
but
me.
the weather that we have been having lately,
Yeah.
plus 30s.
Yeah.
I fucking hate that weather.
How? I
I
love
hate it.
Man, I could live in this all day, every day. Like I could be in this in the heat all day, every day. Like just there's something
24. Now I'm okay.
that's
Keep
good.
it at 24.
Eh? Oh,
If it goes past that, no, you can like go back to hell, man.
look, I remember doing construction when I was younger, like 18, 19, 20,
Yeah.
maybe 21 too. And I remember my favorite thing was to be outside in summer working. Like at that time, the old, code, we weren't always up to code in terms of our dress wear. Like now I think you need to have like a t-shirt and whatever, like different
Yeah.
things. But then we could just work no shirt on. You'd be,
Oh, yeah.
like me and another friend that I went to school with, he ended up working with the same company, and we ended up shingling in the mornings, and we'd have to wake up early so it wouldn't get too hot, so you could still work.
Yeah.
And we would wake up at like 5 a.m. or 4:30 a.m. We'd rip there and just start shingling roofs. And then by the time we were done, we were just sweating. And there's something I love about just like starting to sweat. And I think it was because at that time was when I really started working out a little bit harder too.
Okay.
And I noticed that when I was really warm, my body and my joints and everything, not that they felt bad before that, they were just way quicker to warm up.
Okay.
So I think that connection of like that positive feedback thing from, okay, I got to be outside for work, which I wasn't used to all the time before working that job. And then also working out, I get to feel like good right away. Like I don't have to do as much warm up.
Now I will say, since I should say actually, since I've gotten the pool, I enjoyed the 30s a lot more than I have
That's right.
years past. So
You have a pool.
yeah.
Do you ever make it in? Somebody asked me this the other day, so I do not know this answer. I think you know what I'm going to ask for some reason. But in
No.
Canada,
No,
in Canada you have to empty the pool a little bit, right? Like
Yeah.
halfway,
Yeah.
or something like that. Can you ever make it into a skating rink? Pools in Canada?
You could, but you'd have to remove the liner.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess you
Like
don't want
there's
to.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That was that was my question. I've never had a pool. Someone else asked me this.
That's my pool though. So I like there's some pools they do, I think. Yeah, they build them a little bit different, but I'm not quite sure actually how that works. Mine has liner in it, so you'd have to remove that otherwise.
So you don't damage it.
Yeah.
Okay. The other thing I want to touch on is like, okay, you've moved around. You ended up being here. And then the other thing,
Salute.
you got into like, I knew you from you took pictures or take pictures for the gym, video for the gym, and before that you were in a band and stuff like that. How did you
Yeah.
pick up these hobbies? And some of them, like, do you still play music quite a bit, like
Yeah.
with your band, right?
Yeah.
And you still do photos
Yeah.
and video stuff, right?
Yeah.
How did you get into that stuff? Because that's how I know you.
Man. Okay. The band, that was early on. Like as soon as I moved here, Goose, who's my friend, he's always played guitar. So he was actually playing with a couple of buddies already when I got here. And I picked up the bass back in Ontario and just played like, the normal shitty songs that rookies play. And I was like, oh yeah, I need a band because I'm badass.
Heck yeah.
So Goose was playing with some people already, and I was just like, hey, yeah, can I be a bass? Just play bass, and honestly, since that day, like that was the first day that I moved here. Me and Goose have always been in a band since together.
Have you together? Yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna say. Have you guys ever been in bands like outside of?
Goose has, I haven't.
Do you hold on to that a little bit? Like it's you said that with a little bit of a like a.
No.
No, are you sure?
I'm pretty sure.
You felt like
I
you
think-
did.
Well, I mean,
Just stir up some animosity.
yeah, it kind of feels like he's.
Don't worry,
cheating.
I'll make sure he doesn't hear this part.
He doesn't listen to this.
Oh, don't hurt me like that. Don't hurt me like that. I'm gonna force him to you know what? I changed my mind. I'm clipping this part and sending it to him only. Just this.
Please do.
So you and him started did you guys start a band or did you guys find a band?
we did with one of our buddies back in the day. He was the drummer, and it was Goose on guitars. I was on bass, and the first show we played was a battle of the bands at the Bunker in Winkler.
Which is like a youth
Yeah.
center kind of thing. Like
Yeah, and that
Troubled
was the
youth.
old Bunker yet, the old location.
Okay.
I was so nervous, but we just did it, and we sucked.
Ooh.
I mean, we probably still do, but like it was bad. Like it was, you know. Oh man, yeah, it was bad. Let's just put it that way. It was
What'd that do? Did that kill your self esteem?
no,
You guys didn't care? You're like,
no,
that was awesome.
no. We're like, we didn't win.
Yeah.
So we're like, that's bullshit. We should have won. But no, we shouldn't. We were trash. So it was, yeah.
Do you remember what did you like? Was it cover songs or was it songs that you guys had?
I think you could just play whatever.
Do you remember any of it? Like any of the
Like
songs?
the songs? No, I
Dang.
don't. They were trash. I'm pretty sure we've let go of them if that was ours. Yeah.
Shoot, I would have liked to hear one of those reenacted.
Yeah, and we played against two bands. I remember them. One was called Stag Party, and the other one was called Sincerely Autumn.
Wow, that's very mid 2000s sounding.
Yep.
Like the Sincerely Autumn.
screamo band.
Yeah.
Now the funny thing is, wait, I want to say like Larry from The Color was in that band,
Ooh.
but I'm not 100% sure.
In the
Correct me if I'm wrong, people. But I thought he was in it.
he was 45 at that
Yeah,
time.
yeah, I know.
Now he's 20 some.
I could be wrong. I'm trying to think, but I think he was. So they won. I think they won the battle
Yeah.
or whatever, which was fine because I mean, hardcore won everything back in those days.
Yeah, it was big. Like
Yeah.
it was kind of transitioning from punk
Yeah,
to like hardcore and like it's splitting. There was like
Yeah.
hardcore and like pop was like
yeah,
getting big, and you're like you either went heavy into those one or the other.
yeah. And we didn't want to play hardcore stuff.
Avril Lavigne was just splitting it down the middle. She's like, I'll do both, thanks.
Yeah, man. Have you listened to her latest record?
Her what one? Which one?
Latest record?
No.
Oh.
Is it good?
Eh.
No.
I don't know. I think
her first two were
the
good.
first one, she
Yeah.
sucked.
I agree. The first two, I listened to her first two albums.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, the second one, I'll give it a pass.
Yeah.
That one. But the other ones is just,
I'm with you, man.
I don't know.
Okay, so you're in a
Yeah.
band, you did that, and then what led you to video then? Like, or to
Doing videos.
or to photos, or to any of that? Like,
Well, okay, yeah, I got a job as a graphic designer for the Winkler Times, which is no more. Rest in peace.
RIP to the WT.
Yeah. yeah.
Dang, that could be a good band name. RIP to the WT.
Well, you started.
You wanna-
You're drumming now.
Do you want to be in it?
Sure.
What do you want to
Lead
do?
singer.
You can't play bass guitar though.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Just lead
Just
singer?
lead singer, no instrument.
You're in.
Or, no, yeah, let's go.
Battle of the Bands. And don't tell Goose, okay?
Okay.
You can be in this band.
Okay.
We'll get him back.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Good.
So
He'll be
you're-
jealous.
So you're graphic designing for the Winkler
Yeah,
Times.
and then after that, I got a job at a different place, also as a graphic designer, and I was there for. At the time when I picked up photography, I had been there for 7 years, I want to say. So the work was getting kind of stale, boring, and yeah, and I figured I should just buy a camera. I forget what I bought. It was like a D7000.
That's a Nikon, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crop sensor Nikon used. And I started taking pictures. And I was quite nervous about that, actually. Because as soon as you pick up a hobby, then people are right away like, oh, why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? Huh? Mm-hmm. So I actually kept it quiet for a long time that I had a camera. Because I was just like, well, I don't want people to all of a sudden just like, why are you getting into photography? Which it happens.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
people love doing that.
yeah, I don't, like, leave me the fuck alone. I just want to take pictures. Like,
Yeah.
whatever.
So you're like, what,
Yeah.
is that a film camera at that time, or is it digital?
No,
I'm being
it was
serious.
a
I'm being serious.
Yeah, it was a digital.
Man,
DSLR. It was quite old already though, but I figured it was cheap, something to learn on. I didn't want to invest too much money into it.
Yeah, to
just in
keep it
case I
plugged in.
sucked, which I did in the beginning anyway. I probably still do.
I wouldn't say so.
And then I decided, oh, this is fun, especially because I wanted to take pictures of my family, like my kids growing up, and I wanted something more than just a phone. Even though the phones take great pictures, I use it all the time to take pictures on the phone, but I just wanted something more, and I started to really like it. And yeah, now what is it, 4.5 years later?
That's all you've been doing it for?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah, it hasn't been that long.
Wow. Because I mean, I'm not a photographer.
Yeah.
I can take a mean gym mirror selfie with the best of them.
Oh yeah. No, your mirror selfies are my favorite. They're so good.
Get out of here. But
How do you do the blurry thing?
this guy knows. Do you actually?
You
Do
do
you
the.
know?
I do know.
How do I do
However,
it? How do I do
want
it?
you
How
to
do I do it?
explain.
No.
No. Because you always freeze yourself, but you have the background in motion. It looks like it.
Do you know
anyway.
how I do it?
I want to know how you do it.
It's just an app.
I know.
Okay, come on.
I
I
didn't know, but like I assumed.
That's so funny.
Because okay.
Do you know how many times like I have a draft saved right now that I'm going to post today, actually, that has that in it there. And you know how many times I've done it and I thought to myself, Ed knows that this is like done in it, like for sure. I'm like, oh, this is sick. This is going to be cool. This is going to look really good.
Dude, when I first saw it,
Yeah.
I actually went, man, that's kind of cool. So yeah,
Heck yeah. And then
I liked it.
after a
I
while,
do.
you're like, all right, dude.
No, and then no. Keep doing it. Like
Thanks,
that's fine.
man.
It's fine. Yeah.
Thanks.
However, the second time I was just like, oh, okay.
That's so funny you said that because I straight up thought about you when I did it. I was like, like, I don't know why either. Like, I'm like, he knows. Like, Ed's gonna know for sure. Like how I'm doing this. And I'm like, I wasn't like I was really concerned.
Yeah.
It was just for some reason in my head, I thought I'm like, for sure you would know.
Well, the first time I saw it, I'm like, okay, this is easy done with a flash.
Oh, really?
Like, yeah. However, I'm like, the way the picture looks, like they no way Pell use a flash. Like, obviously, you can tell.
Yeah.
So then I'm like, okay, well, how the hell did he do that?
Yeah.
So I'm like, it's probably like a quick app that does these things for you. Which, yeah, there's lots of them out there. So
Yeah.
I don't know all of them out there either.
Yeah.
So
Keeping my secrets. I actually.
but I was like, man, that's kind of neat. Like it looks
Thanks,
looks neat. It's a cool effect.
It actually takes. I actually have to put them through 2 apps. not to get the
Oh,
blurry thing, but to get the end like filtered and
okay.
look to it.
Yeah.
I actually have to run it through the one app, put it back into the other app, and then put it back into the app, and then post it.
Ah.
And that's my story.
Well, in one of them, I noticed. I think I saw part of your shirt actually coming out from.
The blur.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So then that to me, I'm like, all of a sudden, I'm like, oh, okay. I think I know what's going on. But I saw that because
yeah. Sometimes
believe
you
it
have
or
to
not,
paint the blur. Sometimes
yeah.
sometimes it won't catch everything. Like
Mhm.
the app won't catch everything. So you have to
Exactly.
go in there and paint it in.
Yeah. So believe it or not, a lot of times when any of you guys post stories and pictures and stuff, I do look at them.
That's awesome.
And I do dissect them.
That's awesome.
Not for the purpose of criticizing them.
Your eyes probably just naturally
Yeah.
drawn to like what's going on here.
Yeah, yeah.
That's cool.
So, and I pay attention to you.
Thanks, man.
I do.
Thanks. I pay attention to you. I was basically what I was getting at is, first of all, I didn't know you've only been doing it for 4 to 5 years.
Yeah,
Because I actually have a picture of my motorcycle that you took. That's one of my favorite photos.
mine too.
That you printed for me.
Yeah.
And to me, it looks spectacular. I've also been taking mirror selfies for probably 4 to 5 years. So to compare the two qualities of talent from that motorcycle picture on the wall, if you guys want to see what those pictures actually look like, if you go to my Instagram or Ed's Instagram,
The picture is going to be right here. Pelly's going to edit
I'm
the
not.
picture
I'm not gonna do that. This guy's gonna try and make me do this.
right here.
Dude, I can hardly get the audio to work on this half the time.
Right here.
Go to either Ed's Instagram, it'll be tagged below, or go to my Instagram and you'll have to scroll for a while. But you'll actually, you know what? I actually have a couple of them pinned, so we're good.
Yeah, that one's definitely pinned on mine.
Yeah.
I love that one.
So go to Ed's and go check it out. But you've only been doing it for 4 to 5 years.
Yeah,
How did you learn? Just like trial and error?
pretty much.
Yeah. YouTube?
YouTube. Yeah, YouTube taught me a lot. I've tried to reach out to photographers in the area,
Yeah.
but everybody seems, when I started, so reserved. Like
Pretty tight.
nobody wants to give secrets away.
Has that improved over the
No,
years? Because there's a lot of photographers now.
I don't think so.
No.
Like I'm trying to change it a little bit.
Yeah.
I try to help whoever reaches out. Yeah, I'll help you out. Like, what do you want to know?
Yeah.
The number one question I always get asked, and it's not often, but I have, is how to take pictures in low light. Which
How do you take pictures in low light?
easy, man. Flash.
Yeah, actually, is that actually it?
Well, there's a few different things, but like, yeah, I've had a few people reach out, and I'm just like, hey, this is what you got to do. Whatever, like that.
You help them out.
Yeah. Now just go out and try see which method actually works.
Now,
But
do you think it helps people like, or do you think people get that way because they're not yet creative on their own, like in terms of like their style of things?
As in what way? They get like
Let's say they're doing photography and then they maybe have a style that they're inspired by, and they're scared if I share this, then it's gonna now this person's gonna shoot in the same style as me,
Okay.
and it's gonna oversaturate. Like, do you think that's a little bit of the
yeah,
reservation?
probably.
Yeah,
I think so. I mean, everybody wants their images to look unique, and if once you find the sauce, you want to keep the sauce recipe to yourself.
yeah.
You know, but
Do you feel like you have a sauce recipe?
no.
No, because I feel like your
I don't
photos, for me, I really actually like your style of photography compared to a lot of stuff in our area in particular. Because a lot of the stuff I think in our area is like the overexposed, everything's really bright. It does tend to go a little bit more feminine.
Yeah.
Where yours is a lot more like what we were talking about at the very start. I would say the deeper colors and I don't know, like,
Yeah,
I don't know if
yeah.
it's more cinematic photography. I don't know if
Yeah.
that's the right word, but it draws to my eye more as a guy. And two, for the gym and stuff like that, it suits the thing I want for the gym too. In those ways.
Yeah.
Like, did you develop that because you liked it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it comes from watching people like Peter McKinnon on YouTube,
Okay.
and like his style, I would say has a big influence on mine. But it's probably just because I started watching him from so early on, and I liked it quite a bit. I think his is more moody and stuff than mine.
Oh, moody's a good word. Hey,
Yeah,
that's good.
well, it's overused, but yeah, it's probably the best one to use. Moody.
Yeah, when
Everybody wants to be moody at some point, but I don't know.
dude, every day.
Yeah,
I think like yours is moody, but it's also got depth. That's the
yeah.
thing I like
Yeah.
about it is not that there's anything wrong with other styles or other people's thing, but the thing that catches my eye is it almost the darks and then the little bits of lights or the colors and stuff like that. They almost like one pops out and one pulls back.
Yeah, very contrasty kind of way.
Yeah, yeah. But not in the way that I would do it. Like if I was to try and make a picture look like yours and just work on the contrast, it would be terrible.
We should,
But if you can find an app for me,
yeah, yeah, sure.
we should take. Yeah, I know what you're gonna say. Go ahead, hit me with it.
We should. I'll bring a photo, one of mine, whatever.
Yep.
That I haven't even edited.
Yep.
Like whatever, and then both of us edit the photo and then see what we come up with.
Yeah.
Same image.
Let's do this. I like this. Man.
Okay. Yeah, we should do that one day. And then see how you edit, and I'll help you because we'll probably do it on Lightroom.
No, don't help me.
Okay.
I think we should.
Okay.
I should do it
perfect. You
freelance.
do it the way. All right. Perfect.
Yeah.
That's good.
We'll set up some rules. This is awesome.
Okay, let's do that.
Okay, I'm in. And then, okay, so how did you go from photo to video?
Yeah, that's a good question. Video. See, as I was doing pictures, I realized like pictures will only get you so far if you're looking at it as a business thing. At the time I felt video you'll need to know how to shoot videos.
Okay.
In order for you to be I wouldn't say relevant, but keep going.
Like to make a business of it or to make a thing of it, you kind of have to have the
kind of
both.
You'd have to. Now I know people are just photographers that do insanely well. People are just videographers that do insanely well. Yeah, it still works. However, they at that time had already built their portfolio, their clientele. They're already doing it full time, whatever. And I knew in order to progress, I don't think I could just be a photographer. I would have to develop more skills. So video was the next step. And then, so I started tinkering around with things, but then all of a sudden I get a DM from a dude named Pell.
Oh, that asshole?
Yeah. And he owned a gym. And he's like, hey, do you shoot videos? And I didn't at the time, really. But I said, fuck yeah, I do. I don't know if I said that, but I said like, heck yeah.
Yeah, we'll put it up on the screen now.
Yeah. Yeah, man, if you can find the first, wow.
I clear every time you send me a DM, I clear it.
You should. The stuff that we send.
Not the videos you're thinking of.
So yeah, and then we met, and also I need to make some videos of this and this, and I said perfect opportunity to see how I like doing videos. And I had so much fun. I wrote my buddy Goose into it to do audio for me, and we both loved it so much. It was so much fun.
It's a lot of fun. You guys were really good, and it was one of those things for me. It was the first time kind of being like in that setting and in that world. And for you guys, honestly, not knowing, I had no idea because I think the first ones we did were interviews, right?
Yeah.
And those looked great. Like I think, in all honesty, for our area, in terms of the majority of businesses, that was the first style. A couple other businesses did that after you guys had made those. But I think it's because they were so good. Like they looked great. You'd have to go to shout out to my business page.
Yeah.
You'd have to go way back in the business page to see those, but they were really good. And
They were fun.
were you guys pretty proud of those? Like being the
Yeah,
first
at the
videos?
time we were.
Because I know as the person posting them on the business, I was very proud of them. Like,
Yeah, at the time we were really proud of that because I mean I shot it on my D750, which is also an older DSLR, and I don't know. I thought the picture that we got out of it and with the lighting setup, I was just like, man, we did good. I think so.
the audio was good, the video
Yeah,
was
it
good,
was-
the
yeah.
things that the people said. But that was also credit to you guys too, because you guys made people feel comfortable.
Yeah,
Like people would come in here and it was client interviews, so everyone was a little bit uncomfortable. It's a personal thing to them.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was such a relaxed, like, hey,
Yeah.
just this is all we need. Like, just say a
Yeah.
couple things and you're good.
yeah. Nobody's gonna judge.
Yeah, that was really good.
Yeah, but
That was a lot of fun.
yeah, I had fun with doing that. So then after that, we're just kind of like, well, yeah, we should maybe do this more. And then we started Monkeys in Space, and we haven't done a lot of videos because, man, for some reason, as soon as me and Goose always decide to do something, our lives just get even more busy.
Yeah,
And
because
then
you do a lot.
yeah, so then we're also like, okay, well, this has got to be put on hold. So now,
Are you still? What are you doing for video and stuff now?
yeah, well, we we had a few plans fall through because somebody by the name of Jordan Jansen got signed. I don't know if you heard.
Ooh,
Yeah,
congrats to Jordan.
yeah. So we actually had him lined up for a cool little highlight, like artist highlight video, which I'm quite bummed about because oh man, I was looking forward to that one. So we have a few other people lined up. That's going to be the main focus for Monkeys at the moment, is just doing videos that we enjoy, just for fun, basically.
Yeah.
And since both me and Goose are really into music, we figured we're just gonna shed a light on some of the artists that are in the area.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I think that's huge because that stuff kind of until recently that all the like musicians and stuff like that has either
Yeah.
been in the age category above us and
Yeah.
kind of been isolated to that,
Yeah.
or kind of been underground. Like
Yeah.
there hasn't really been a lot of focus on or much of a scene
Yeah.
up until recently, for artists in that, like, let's say, I'm just gonna say anywhere from 18 to 35 range. Everything was either above that or kind of non-existent
Yeah.
in terms of exposure.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, we did put out one video already, and that is on Mr. Mike Hebert, who is actually your drum teacher.
He's awesome, dude.
Yeah. So we did that one. That was our first one, as he was basically our guinea pig, and so many things went wrong.
Oh, yeah?
during the filming, just on our end, not Mike. Mike was great. But I think we managed to pull out a video that is we can be proud of, but we can also make a lot of improvements on it.
Well, it's your first. It's
Of
the first
course.
one of that series,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
But I found myself like when filming it, especially because I knew going in what I wanted. It was so easy to film that I knew exactly which shots I wanted, and there was no guesswork. So that's I guess time for me to give anyone pointers. If you're gonna go into this like video business, have a plan.
Oh yeah.
Don't go into a shoot not knowing what you're gonna shoot.
Yeah.
Man, it's gonna save you hours, and also headaches, just everything. Right? Just have a plan. Go into it. This one I had planned out. I knew exactly what I wanted. We hammered it out in 4 hours.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And then I went home. I had the video edited by the end of that day.
Were you just excited? Like just like pumped on it? Yeah.
I was amped because I knew some of the shots that I got, and I'm like, that's a good shot.
Yeah.
Like it is a good one. So I was just hyped. I just need to see what I like, how I can make this all work, and it just everything fell into place perfectly. And yeah, it was a great video, and I think I want to do more of those. And we have a few people that we're talking to and lined up. So yeah, I mean, keep posted for that, or keep your eyes peeled for those videos. Hopefully they will come
pop
to
out.
fruition.
Do you have a preference now at this point between video and photography?
I still love photography more. Maybe it's because it's easier. Photographers are gonna hate me for this. Easier.
Well, video, like photography, if I know one thing about anything at this point in creating content,
Video is a bitch.
and because it has audio.
Yep.
That's if I've learned anything, it's video's got audio, and it's a bitch. Like
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
I can go and take it. I can go stand in front of a mirror and take a photo and throw it in an app, and life's good. And if the
Boom.
photo doesn't look perfect, you can make
Yep.
some adjustments, or for next time it takes you 5 seconds to snap a photo. If you record a video or something like a podcast and things aren't set up just right, or you didn't remember this one thing, if the audio doesn't work,
it doesn't
or
work.
if the video is not in the right spot, it's trash.
Yep.
And it's not a 5 second snap. It's a
You can't just go retake it like in 5.
No.
Yeah, it's just like, no, you gotta. I mean, we redid this,
you got to invite
like-
the guy down.
dude. This has been what, a month process now.
Yeah. And at this point, I mean, we're an hour and 35 minutes in, and we have no idea if this audio is going to work again.
Exactly. Yeah. So I might have to come back in a month, but no, like I honestly think like if you can make a living on photography as a creative for like one or the other, I choose photography every day. For one, it's easier. I also enjoy printing my images and then just having one image
Yeah.
and seeing it and just like admiring it and loving it, and then taking a better picture, and then this thing goes into garbage, whatever.
There's some truth to it too, like in terms of, for me at least, in terms of like the openness of a picture
Yeah.
and the meaning of a picture
Yep.
to one person and not the other person.
Yeah.
Where a video kind of it's got words, it's got a feel to it, it's got this experience that it's a shared experience in a video. I feel like more so, where that motorcycle picture probably means something different to me and you.
Yeah. For sure.
And if you look at it long enough, you could probably find other things within it that mean, like, someone might look at that and be like, oh, I can see this pizza place in the background.
Yeah.
And I remember going there as a kid, where for me, I look at the picture and I see the motorcycle, and I'm like, oh, that's my motorcycle.
Right. I don't know. I still love just the still images. Like,
Yeah.
I enjoy that. Don't get me wrong. I like video, but it's the thing that turns me off from it so much is it's so much work. Like, it's unbelievable amount of work, and I don't think people realize it. I think a lot of people don't understand how much work goes into even like a 30-second video.
Yeah.
They think it's literally you taking 30 seconds out of your time to shoot the video.
And people treat it that way too.
Oh, 100%.
Like, you look at like all the platforms now.
Yeah.
It's like someone can make quite the elaborate video or whatever, and in 30 seconds, nobody cares.
Yep.
It's irrelevant, and they're on to the next thing.
Yep.
And it's
And you put hours into that video, probably. Like, so some of them. I
Yeah.
mean, there's some reels that you can tell that it was taken in 30 seconds.
but then they get 10 million views, the one that's making 30 seconds, and then the one that took the guy 3 hours to make, or the girl 3 hours to make, gets 1,000 or 30 likes or something like that, and you're like, what the heck? How did that?
I know.
How did that cat falling off that ledge do so well?
Yeah. So I think the payoff, just
For
I
photos.
don't know. I think so, because it's like, I don't know.
The one thing I personally like about video and making that kind of content, even like the podcast thing, is I was talking to Zach about this yesterday, is the explanation side of it.
Okay,
Like, especially within like my job and stuff.
Yeah.
I do love writing different things. Like, I'll write in a journal, and sometimes that'll end up being a caption, and I really love that, but it seems like no one really gives a shit about that, which is fine.
I read them sometimes.
Thanks, man.
Not all the time. I'll be honest with you. Not all the time. But sometimes
I should just make them recordings, eh? But I do like in like video format. Sometimes I feel like, especially with the longer form, it's like, oh, I can explain this better, or I can show this, like, I'm joking, and this is how I'm joking. Like, you get to the end of a thing. It's hard to do with the 30-second clips sometimes, but that longer form video content is like, you get to say something and then you get to explain it and have someone hopefully understand a little bit more about what you're trying to share.
Yeah. Yeah. I enjoy both, but yeah, if I had to pick one, I would
You
just
do
be a
photo.
full-time photographer.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. Full
Let's
time.
just go with that.
Well, dude, we've been going for an hour and 40.
Yeah.
What's next for Ed?
What's next for me?
What are you up to, man? You got more videos coming out, hopefully,
Yeah,
in the
more
pipeline.
videos. I don't know. I'm gonna enjoy the summer. Um, I don't have like, well, I have plans, but I don't know.
Close to close to
Yeah, We'll
close to the chest.
yeah, we'll keep them.
Cool.
I won't reveal too much, but yeah, I'm gonna keep taking pictures and clutter the feed of about 40 people.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you want me to tag? I'm gonna tag your Instagram. But what do you want me to tag your YouTube in this too?
Sure, if you want to.
Is that where the mic video is? Is it?
It's actually on the monkeys.
Okay, so
Monkeys in space.
I'll take them
yeah,
all. I'll go through them.
cool.
I'll just look up your name.
I have like 2 videos of mine. One where your wife kicks my ass at photography.
that was cool.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Oh, she destroyed me, man. Like,
I feel like it was a little bit biased setup wise.
think so?
Yeah, I'm gonna
go with that.
I'm gonna play middle ground here. You guys were both so good at that. She's so great, and you're so good too. That I'm so happy. I know you guys.
Yeah.
I'm just not gonna pick a side, just super generic. No, that's cool. Yeah, I'll take all those in there.
Yeah, and I have one that how I edit some car picture.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah,
I watched that one. That was good.
So maybe somebody can learn something. I want to start posting more on that channel anyway. Once I figure out my schedule a little bit better. Plus, it's summertime.
Yeah, that makes it tough, eh?
Yeah, really tough. But I do want to. I do have a plan to post videos that will help like new people in their photography journey. So if they're new to photography, they don't know. Like, because, man, I understand where they come from because I was there and nobody wanted to help me to be a better photographer. There was a few, don't get me wrong, like maybe one that was okay with me reaching out and giving me a hint here and there. But I want to help people actually become, somewhat good photographers.
Yeah.
Not amazing, but like just so you don't have to struggle too much in the beginning because it sucks. Like when you have questions, you YouTube it. Sometimes they don't have the answers because it's not a specific question, right? I don't know. At this point, maybe YouTube probably has most of the answers too, but I'm just going to add to it. Yeah.
Yeah, there's nuances and there's little things that I'm sure that you're like, oh, that video didn't have that.
Yeah.
That really helped me knowing that that little piece that this video I feel like missed.
Yeah.
And I can add that. I think like I'm so grateful for guys like you and Zach and a variety of different people. I actually just called Kayla, who was on the last episode, I believe, of this podcast today, asking her about memory card stuff. Okay. And like your guys' willingness to like share different pieces of advice for me and different perspectives too. And I have so much more like, I don't know if they respect.
Yeah, you don't have more respect for us.
No, I don't respect you guys at all. But admiration, I would say. Like going through like the little basic stuff, like from learning this new soundboard and how to work the audio or different matching it to the video, like just super basic stuff. I'll sit in the office and all of a sudden I'll say this stuff like either to Zach or even talking to Kayla about that card. It's just like the simplest stuff to you guys. But you guys never make me feel dumb, one, which is awesome.
Oh, dang it. Failed.
And and two, it just goes to like when I do that and it's simple, I'm like, man, the work like that go into some of the videos and photos you guys all do. I have so much more admiration for that stuff. Like it's cool. You guys do good stuff.
Yeah. Thanks.
And it's cool to see too, like from my perspective, all those kind of names, your name and Zach's name, Kayla's name, and all the other people that do it in the area who um, almost seem like they intertwine a bit now, to me at least. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Like it's from the outside perspective, outside looking in. I'm like, oh, look at this stuff like this person made, and all of a sudden this guy went and showed up for that person's thing.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And then you get to see this product of like, or this project, this finished project of like these two people collaborating together to make this thing. That's cool. For me.
I wish there was more people collaborating. Like,
Yeah, that's some of my favorite stuff.
yeah, I feel like a lot of photographers, and yeah, I'll make this brief because we were gonna end this, but I feel like a lot of creatives in the area, they just want to keep everything to themselves all the time.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to ever like, oh, I have a cool car, so I'm gonna share this cool car with someone else because then they'll have the same content as me, right? So
Is wild to me because when we did those motorcycle pictures,
Yeah.
there was 2 or 3 other people taking photos at that thing, and every single one of the people's photos looked different. Like they're totally different styles.
different perspectives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Different style, different perspective, like angles and inspiration.
Yeah, exactly, 100%. And then your wife was there too, actually, and she took a picture, and I had to steal the shot because I didn't even think of it, and she did it, and I was just like, man,
That's
what?
awesome.
That
Yeah.
is a cool shot. I'm gonna steal it. I don't think I ever posted it, but like I have it for myself, and it's a great shot.
Yeah.
And it's of you, and I look at it every day.
Oh, thanks, man. I did see that it was your background on your phone, which I appreciate.
Oh, I didn't switch it.
It's just back to like your kids, eh?
Yeah, no. So I think there needs to be more collaboration. I guess that's the other thing with the competition where your wife kicked my ass was I kind of started that in mind of doing more collaborations with creatives in the area. There's actually a few of them that I've talked to. I just haven't gotten the time to schedule those things in, but the summer's still long. Hopefully I can get, I don't know, a handful of videos out or recorded this summer.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they'll be out right away, but at least I have them.
Yeah.
And then I can post them as just a fun collaboration so that people get to know some of the other photographers that are out there, right? Not that I'm like one of the most well-known photographers. There's way better ones, but at least I can have fun with them.
Well, I like your stuff. That means
Yeah,
everything.
well, that means everything to me. That's the only thing that matters to me.
Heck yeah.
And yeah, and I mean, hopefully it helps people discover other creatives too. And we'll see.
Sweet, man. Well, I'm gonna tag Ed's stuff below.
Yeah,
and,
this is the longest outro in
That's
history.
perfect. I'm not even going to outro this thing anymore. I think I'm going to stop doing that. All I'm going to say is I'm going to tag his stuff below. If you guys want to go check out his photos, I love his photos. I think they're awesome. Awesome enough to even hang on my walls.
Well,
I
you
think
kind of had to. I gave it to you, so you.
I think no. There's a story behind that. We'll do that. We'll do another episode. We'll do a third episode.
There's a story behind it.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Ed, for being here.
Hey, man, thanks for inviting me. I don't actually know why you invited me.
Because I think you're sweet, dude.
Yeah, but I've heard some of the episodes, man, and they had actual like real stories to tell.
No, but people are going to come back. I've said it. I said it in the last one. I said it in this one. That's going to be my. That's what I'm looking forward to the most is getting people back in and sharing more stories and doing more stuff because I feel like they're just going to have more stuff.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll
Let's
be
shut
back.
this thing down.
Yeah, let's do it.
That's the closing, dude.
Yeah, see ya.